Do you really think that retaining semen is just about holding back pleasure? What if I told you that, while millions of men waste their vital energy without even thinking twice, a silent minority is accumulating power, mental clarity, magnetic presence, and transforming their lives into silence? Yes, this ancient practice, which modern science barely dares to study, hides a truth that is as powerful as it is uncomfortable. The man who dominates his sexuality dominates the world around him. For decades, we've been told that masturbating is healthy, that unlimited sex is freedom, that instant pleasure is a sign that you're alive. But what if all of this is a well-laid trap to keep you tired, distracted, and far from your true potential? Semen retention isn't a willpower challenge. It's a process of spiritual, energetic, emotional, and physical reconstruction. But no one tells you what really happens at each stage. Until now. From 7 to 90 days, your body changes, your mind reprograms itself, and your soul restructures itself. But make no mistake, the path is challenging, often lonely, and absolutely transformative. In this video, you will discover what each of these phases entails, with details that no one else shows. You will understand why so many fail, why few persist, and why those who succeed become true leaders of themselves. And no, this is not motivational talk. It is a real map for those who want to escape the sexual matrix and reclaim their inner throne. If you feel like you're living below your potential, if you feel tired, lost, dominated by impulses you can't control, then this content is for you. The journey begins with a simple choice: stop sabotaging yourself. And as you progress through each phase, something changes inside, and no one will be able to take that away from you. But the question is, are you ready to find out what happens when a man stops behaving like a boy? If so, hold on tight. Because what you are about to discover now, no one had the courage to tell you. In the first 7 days of abstinence, your body seems to wage a silent war against the old addiction. Your mind, accustomed to the easy and instant dopamine of pornography, starts to scream. It's like taking candy from a sulking child. You feel irritable, anxious, and even restless for no apparent reason. But this isn't weakness. It's your system trying to find balance without the crutch of instant pleasure. This period is like leaving a dark cell. Suddenly, you see the light, but it bothers you. You are still dizzy, disoriented, and your body craves the old comfort. But at this moment, the game changes. Who is in charge of whom? Most people relapse because they believe that their will is stronger than they are. But those who understand that this is just the echo of mental slavery begin to gain ground. The big takeaway here is to realize that the challenge is more mental than physical. The body can handle it. It's the brain that's addicted to immediate rewards. It's like an emotional trader who wants profit at any cost. And you need to become a long-term investor in your own energy. Instead of giving in, channel it. Start with something simple like 15 minutes of mindful walking with deep, focused breathing. Many men report that in these first few days, their focus begins to improve. Nothing extraordinary yet, but it's as if the fog is beginning to dissipate. It's that feeling that there's more time in the day. Productivity begins to show signs, even if they're timid. But be careful. It's at this stage that the mind plays tricks. It says, "You've already endured a week, you deserve a break." That's the voice of the saboteur. You'll experience energy spikes, and then crashes. This is natural. Your body is relearning how to function without the constant use of artificial dopamine. This affects your mood, sleep, and even your diet. So here's a practical tip. Cut out refined sugar and ultra-processed foods for 7 days. This reduces emotional swings and gives you a more stable chemical base to hold your energy. It's as if your body is cleaning out the basements of your soul. All the emotional toxins that have been stored up come to the surface. And then you might be surprised by memories, old anger, or forgotten feelings. Instead of running away from them, write them down. Grab a notebook and write down what you're feeling before you go to sleep. This helps clear your mind, reduce anxiety, and prevent relapses at night. It's simple, but profoundly effective. Here, too, a curious symptom arises: increased sensitivity. Sounds, smells, touches, everything seems more intense. This is because you are truly feeling again, without anesthesia. It is like a musician who starts to hear nuances that he had previously ignored. Therefore, avoid unnecessary stimuli. Stay away from excessive social networks, series with sexual appeal and people who drain your energy. You may feel irritated by the people around you. This is common. When you stop numbing yourself, you begin to realize how much your environment influences your impulses. The tip here is, protect your field. Stay silent for longer, observe, and only react when necessary. This is the beginning of self-control. A warrior does not fight for nothing. He saves energy for when it really matters. In the middle of this first week, many people have erotic dreams and wake up scared. This is not a relapse. This is the body trying to drain what it has been accumulating. But you can minimize this with breathing exercises before bed. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 7, exhale for 8. Repeat for 5 minutes. This calms the nervous system and reduces subconscious arousal. This first stage is not about superpowers, it's about breaking chains. And whoever goes through it consciously is already 1,000 steps ahead. Because it's not just about holding back semen, but about regaining control of one's own mind. And that's when something even more powerful begins, true physical transformation. But to do that, you need to cross the next portal. After 14 days of retention, the game changes phase. Your body begins to respond visibly, and even those around you notice something different. Your posture aligns effortlessly, your voice gains a curious firmness, and your gaze becomes more stable and penetrating. It's not magic, it's biology. Free testosterone begins to circulate more intensely, and this directly affects your presence. It's as if you begin to occupy the space with more authenticity. At this stage, women feel your energy. It's not about appearance, it's about vibration. They can't explain it, but something in them recognizes your change. And you feel it too. But here lies the danger. The ego starts to want to take over the party. It's easy to get carried away, to think you've already won. But it's still early. The mountain is still steep, and the biggest risk now is stumbling over self-confidence. If you are just starting out with semen retention and want to learn how to practice it the right way, safely and with results, I have prepared an essential ebook for beginners. It is a direct, simple, and transformative step-by-step guide. The link is in the first pinned comment. Your nervous system is reorganizing itself. That's why you may feel euphoric one moment and then completely exhausted the next. This is not a defect, it's a reset. It's as if your body is calibrating new software. Here's a fundamental tip. Practice physical activity every day, even if it's light. Functional training, light jogging, or even yoga are excellent ways to circulate this accumulated energy. Wet dreams may occur. Waking up excited, with erotic images in your mind, is a sign that your body is trying to release energy through old channels. But you can channel this. One effective technique is the yoga breath of fire. Short, quick breaths through the nose for 1 minute. It helps move energy from the genitals to the chest and head. Try it and see the difference in your self-control. You'll notice that conversations become more interesting. Your mind is more alert. Your responses are quicker. It's like you can really see people again. This is because your dopamine levels are more regulated. Before, you needed a lot of stimulation to feel good. Now, the little things start to make sense. Listening to good music, reading a chapter of a book, walking mindfully. All of these things become pleasurable again. But there's a crucial detail here. You need to start channeling this energy with purpose. If it has nowhere to go, it will overflow. So set goals. Start a project, write a plan, focus on something that challenges you. A good example is learning something new that stimulates focus and creativity, like playing an instrument, studying practical psychology, or even gardening. Energy without direction turns into chaos. At this point, many people report a natural increase in productivity. You start to do in 2 hours what used to take 4. And it's not because you've gotten faster, it's because you've become more present. Your mind stops jumping from stimulus to stimulus. Here's a tip. Apply the Pomodoro technique, 25 minutes of total focus plus 5 minutes of breaks. This aligns your mental energy with your new level of clarity. A positive side effect of retention is the awakening to your own appearance. You start to take better care of yourself. Not out of vanity, but because your body demands it. You may feel the desire to dress better, take care of your hair and your skin. That's great. Just don't fall into the mirror trap. Remember that true radiance comes from within. Take care of your exterior, but nourish your interior with even more dedication. After 14 days, masturbation has become a distant memory for many. But don't be fooled. Your brain still has traces of the habit. A smell, an image, a memory can activate the system. So be aware of your triggers. Block websites, control social media, and keep yourself busy. The secret is to fill your time with what expands you, not with what drains you. You are halfway through the journey. The bridge between addiction and mastery passes through here. It is at this point that sexual energy begins to transform into something more noble. But if you want to find out what really happens when this force stabilizes within you, you will need to go beyond the 30 days. Reaching 30 days of retention is like walking through a dense forest and suddenly finding a clearing. The sensation is that the entire body breathes differently. The mind is clearer, the chest is lighter, and even the way you walk changes. The libido, which before seemed like an uncontrollable monster, now presents itself as a powerful flame, strong, but under control. And that changes everything. Because when a man masters his libido, he stops being guided and starts guiding. Your vitality increases, and you feel like you can do more with less effort. You sleep better, wake up feeling more energetic, and your energy lasts all day long. Many people report that they start to attract opportunities almost without realizing it. New clients, more sales, unexpected connections. This is no coincidence. The sexual energy you hold back turns into magnetism. You become like an invisible magnet, not because you want to, but because you are. Mental clarity reaches a new level. It's as if the noise has disappeared, and now only what matters is left. Decisions become easier. You know what you want and what you don't want. Here's a practical tip. Start writing down your ideas, no matter how simple they seem. A notebook or note-taking app can become your greatest creative asset. Great entrepreneurs, like Thomas Edison and Leonardo da Vinci, did this every day. But be careful. This is exactly where the ego can play tricks. You feel so good, so strong, that you start to think you are above others. And that is the trap. Many people fall into this because of pride. They go back to old habits, thinking they are in control, and they lose everything in a single relapse. Retention is not a trophy, it is a continuous practice. Those who think they have arrived, stop walking. This phase also marks emotional maturity. You react less and observe more. What used to drive you crazy now barely scratches your surface. This is reflected in your relationships. You start to be more selective about who you hang out with, who you talk to, and even who you sleep with. Masculine energy becomes selective. And this pushes you away from a lot of things that were bad for you, including some people. Your gaze changes. It's not about beauty, it's about depth. People sense that. You look someone in the eye with a firm, present look. It intimidates the insecure and attracts the self-aware. Women sense that you have a solid foundation. Men recognize respect in silence. And you begin to realize that you don't need to say much, your energy does it for you. The accumulated energy is transformed into action. You don't want to waste any more time. You start finishing what you start. You start projects, seek knowledge, adjust your routine. An example. This is a great time to invest in self-knowledge. Books like The Power of the Subconscious, Joseph Murphy, OU The Seed of Victory, Nuno Cobra, are powerful allies at this stage. They help you align your mind, body, and soul. But not everything is perfect. There are still difficult days, of desire, of tiredness, of frustration. But now you have the inner resources to deal with it. The difference is that you have learned to breathe, to wait, to observe. This is called mastery. And mastering yourself is the greatest power a man can have. Because when the world tries to bring you down, your strength is within, and not without. Many people report that, during this phase, they begin to attract money in unusual ways. New jobs, partnerships, profitable ideas. This happens because your mind is in high performance, and the universe responds to the vibration. But remember, it's not about getting lucky. It's about being ready to receive. And this only happens when you are whole, present, and awake. This is the male awakening, a turning point where sexual energy stops being about pleasure and becomes purpose. But if you think you've seen it all, Wait until you see what happens when this energy starts connecting with the spiritual. At 60 days of retention, it's not just your body that changes, it's your field. You enter a new vibrational state. People feel your presence before you even speak. It's as if your aura takes up space before your body. Your eyes shine differently. Your skin looks more alive. It's a reflection of an energy that is being purified, refined, elevated. The libido is still there, but now it presents itself in a more subtle, almost artistic way. You begin to perceive beauty in details, in music, in nature, in words. The lower chakras, which previously dominated your actions, begin to align with the higher ones. The heart opens. The throat loosens. The third eye begins to blink. You begin to perceive yourself as more than a body. You are a channel. Here, spiritual practices become more effective. Meditation is no longer an obligation, it is a calling. Praying is no longer asking, it is talking. You feel that there is something greater, and you are beginning to access it. A practical tip: set aside 20 minutes a day for silent meditation or mantras. Use 432 Hz or 528 Hz music to activate your field. Breathe deeply. Surrender. You will be surprised by what you begin to feel. Your intuition sharpens like a freshly sharpened knife. You start to realize what is true and what is manipulation, even without proof. You know when something doesn't add up, even though everyone around you believes it. That's clear intuition. It's not paranoia. It's clarity. At this stage, it's common to distance yourself from certain environments and people. Not out of arrogance, but out of energetic preservation. Your vibration is different. And not everyone follows suit. This is also where sex changes its meaning. It is no longer something mechanical or urgent. It is spiritual, deep, a meeting of souls, not just bodies. You start to seek real connection, not just physical attraction. And this filters who you relate to. Casual relationships lose their shine. You want depth, truth, mutual surrender. And, in this process, many begin to experience what the ancients called tantric sex. Silence becomes valuable. You begin to prefer listening to talking. You feel more pleasure in contemplating than in commenting. This is not passivity, it is awareness. A powerful practice here is to walk for 20 minutes a day without a cell phone, just observing. Trees, wind, birds, the sound of the city. This connection with reality strengthens your presence and expands your spiritual perception. Some report visions in their sleep, messages in dreams, a feeling of déjà vu. You begin to realize that you are being guided, that there is something beyond the visible working with you. And this gives you courage, because now you feel that you are not alone. Faith stops being a theory and becomes an experience. You don't believe, you live. You feel. You breathe the invisible. Your presence becomes medicinal. People come closer, tell you secrets, ask for advice. You start to heal just by being there. And that requires responsibility. Taking care of your vibration becomes a mission. Avoiding gossip, negative news, toxic foods, and charged environments. All of this now makes sense. You are defending your light, your frequency, your temple. Self-esteem grows stronger in a serene way. It's no longer about feeling beautiful or strong. It's about feeling whole. You respect yourself, and, therefore, you demand respect. Your choices change. Your behavior standards rise. And, naturally, you begin to inspire. You make an impact just by example. And all of this comes from a simple choice, not to waste your own essence. This is the phase where the common man begins to touch the sacred. But there is an even deeper dimension, where body, mind, and spirit align in a single flow. And this only happens after 90 days. Reaching 90 days is like crossing the desert and finally finding an oasis. It's not about victory over sex, but about mastering yourself. You realize that you no longer live to react to the world, but to build your own. Your energy is steady, centered, and silent. It's a force that doesn't shout, but transforms. Those who observe you can tell, something has changed profoundly within you. At this stage, the body reaches a new level of performance. It's not just about muscles or aesthetics. It's about vitality, immunity, and unshakable disposition. Your entire system operates in an aligned manner. You sleep well, wake up with energy, work with focus, and end the day with clarity. It's a state of constant flow. And all this without stimulants, without addictions, without forced dopamine. Just clean, flowing vital energy. The spirit also settles down. You feel peace even in the midst of chaos. You can hear your own inner silence even with noise around you. It is a state of inner sovereignty. And it is not uncommon for you to feel as if you have become a guardian of your mission, of your energy, of the people around you. The warrior is not the one who fights for everything, but the one who chooses his battles carefully. Emotional maturity here reaches a high level. You no longer run after the approval of others. Nor are you shaken by empty criticism. Your compass is now internal. You act because it is right, not because you want applause. It is common, in fact, for many old relationships to dissolve. People who do not follow your frequency will drift away. And this is natural. The warrior also knows how to let go. Presence becomes your primary language. You walk into a place and people feel something different. Men greet you with respect, even without knowing why. Women look at you with curiosity, admiration, and even reverence. But you don't have to prove anything. Your energy speaks for you. And the most amazing thing is that the less you try, the stronger it becomes. At this stage, your purpose begins to become clear. It's as if the pieces of the puzzle finally fit together. Ideas flow, paths open up, coincidences increase. You realize that it's not luck, it's alignment. Here's a practical tip. Start recording synchronicities. Write down dates, situations, feelings. This strengthens your spiritual perception and guides you with even greater precision. Sex, if it happens, is done with full awareness. It is no longer an act, it is a ritual. You understand the value of your essence. You know that each drop carries a creative power. And, for this reason, you do not give it to just anyone. Semen retention is no longer an effort, it has become natural. Your standard has been raised. You do not want to go back, because the taste of freedom is better than any momentary pleasure. But here lies a huge responsibility. The more power you have, the more sensitive you become. You feel the energies of people, environments, and intentions. You need to protect your frequency. You need to maintain your rituals. You need to watch your thoughts. The warrior can be strong, but he can also fall, forget who he is. That is why discipline and humility continue to be essential shields. In 90 days, you not only changed your life, you became a reference, a living example that it is possible. But the world out there is still trapped in easy pleasure, constant distraction, emptiness disguised as freedom. And now, more than ever, you understand, your mission is to show a new path. To inspire, to build, to serve. Because a true warrior does not fight for himself, he protects what is sacred. And if you think this is the end of the journey, you are mistaken. The 90 days are just the gateway. There is a new level that begins now, where the accumulated energy transforms into legacy. Now tell me, after knowing all this, will you continue living as before? Will you really ignore the power that is literally within you? Or will you use this knowledge as fuel to turn your life around? The truth is that most people will watch this video, agree with everything, and still continue to give in to easy pleasure. But some, a few, will make a decision now. And that decision changes everything. You've seen what happens in 7, 14, 30, 60, and 90 days of retention. You've seen that it's not just about holding in semen, but about gaining self-control, clarity, presence, and spiritual strength. So the question is simple. Do you want to be just another one, or do you want to be the one who changed? The one who inspired other men? The one who reconnected with his own essence and created a life aligned with purpose? Think about how many times you felt empty, lost, anxious, or unmotivated. And now, see how all of this was linked to an energy that you wasted without even realizing it. It's time to take the reins. To become the mentor of your own journey. To be the example you never had. Because when you change, everything around you starts to transform, and this is not theory. It's experience. So I ask you, why continue to feed the cycle that weakens you, when you have already discovered the path that strengthens you? Which version of you will exist in 90 days? The man who relapsed once again, or the warrior who has awakened? If you want to continue this journey with me, like this video now, subscribe to the channel and activate the bell. Here we talk about what no one has the courage to teach. And if you've come this far, it's because you're ready to become who you were born to be.